Sul, welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you're new here, I'm Kit Kat. My pronouns are she, her, and today we are building a small family home using only base game and the high school years pack. It ends up being a 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom house, again with space for 4 Sims, and it is a starter budget home. So basically the starter funds that you would start out with if you had 4 Sims in your household. We're building this in the new world of Copperdale that came with the high school years pack on the Little Falls Nook lot, which is a small lot that looks out over the water. It's a really pretty lot, and I do like the way this house looks, again, because we're using starter funds. If you've been around for some other builds that I've done, you'll know that those tend to not be as decorated, or they don't look as lived in as other builds do when you don't have a budget of, I think it ends up being about $25K. So it looks a little bit more empty. If you do want to download this build, again, it's just high school years and base game. And if you have other packs or specific Sims that you want to live here, you can obviously fill the house in a little bit more to look lived in. Some people don't like playing in cluttered homes. I really do. Maybe it just reminds me of my own house and growing up, because we did have a fairly cluttered house growing up, especially. So I'm just using those high school years doors. I don't think I change any of the doors. I know there were a couple of high school year options, but I don't end up using a more specialized door, just to kind of keep with the cohesion of the house there. I give them a little kind of like a back porch here, just because really, like, there's not a lot going on out there on the porch. There'll end up being like a telescope, and I think not even a grill, just a table, because we ran out of money. And debug landscaping, of course. I really wanted to use these windows in the front, but I thought they looked kind of silly, so I do just use them in basically the teens rooms in the back. I place the windows that came with high school years that you can actually climb out of. There is a debug bush out there in the end, so it might not be functional, but I think since it's debug, the Sims can just walk through that. So they really shouldn't have a problem. I start with painting it this brown color, and I really like it, but I end up going with a pink siding. I don't know what it is. I think it's because on my Twitch channel we have been playing the Not So Berry challenge, and we're on the pink generation. If you saw my townhouse speed build, you'll remember that. But since we're on that generation, I'm just really interested in the color pink for builds. So I think that's why this happened for this build, because we do end up changing the whole house, I think, to pink. I even thought the yellow looks nice as well, but I just couldn't settle on it. So the whole thing turned pink. And that's what happened. I take no responsibility for my decisions. But here you can see me deleting most of those windows that your Sims can climb out of, and then just adding some different ones. Again, I'm still playing around with the wallpaper outside. I just couldn't figure it out. It was a rough one, honestly. This isn't one of my favorite builds. I think with the budget, it limits you a little bit more than I wanted to be limited, unfortunately. So I should have just given up on the restriction, but I didn't. I wanted to stick with it, and I did. So, you know, I think it looks nice. It's a house you can play in pretty easily if you have the pack, and yeah, it looks nice. Just a little bit of adjustment on the roof line and the windows, because it looked a little strange with the half wall, or the small wall height, excuse me. So just a little bit of adjustment to make that lower. Still messing around with the roof a little bit. I wanted it to sort of be covered, but again, I was having trouble with the roof line. That's been sort of a theme in all my building lately, is just I've been having lots of trouble with the roof. And here I go redoing it again. First I'm going to adjust this a little bit to make that room a bit smaller, just so that it doesn't maybe look as weird. I don't know. The whole build is just, it was kind of a struggle. And it really shouldn't have been, but it was. So it is what it is. But I do think that roof line looks better, more simple. So yeah, half of the house is pink, and then we have that nice white gray brick on the right side there. Just adding some roof trim adjustments, and adding a little bit of trim to the actual roof itself. I changed the door because I wanted a slightly taller one with that wall height, and I think it looks nice. I do end up changing the doors on the inside again, just because the black doors don't really work for our purposes. Like it's not as what's the word? It's not as cohesive and like seamless to do that. So we do a little gravel path here out front. Actually, it's just those bricks. So my last speed build, I think I recorded before the US sprung forward for daylight savings time. So I'm still like weirdly a little bit tired from that. It's probably, you know, I should be used to it by now, but I'm a little bit tired from that. It's kind of the worst. It took me a little bit of time to choose the table. I ended up going with just a basic one there to make sure that it fits, and then just changing that the inside doors, interior door colors. Again, with the budget restriction, there's not like a ton of stuff in the kitchen. I spend a little bit more money on kind of creating a more custom, like, bookshelf unit in the living room for the, and I think maybe we do have like a more expensive TV. No, I think I just sized it up. Never mind. I didn't make it more expensive. So in the hall bathroom there, that's not the ensuite, I do end up putting a tub instead of a shower. So the kids have a tub basically, the parents get a shower, and I'm just laying out some furniture here. And then the blue teen room ends up being the one that has the desk. And I think we do have a computer in there, which again is why it would cost so much money. And some of the stuff from high school years is a little bit more expensive, which is why we ran Classic restricted build, always running out of money. So just initially trying to figure out like a color scheme in all the rooms. I ended up going with the blue bed for that teen room, and then the parents' room I used this kind of cute checkered pattern that now you can't see. But then just trying to figure out like what colors to go in this blue room here, and like what kind of an accent wall to have. It took me a little bit of time to figure that out. And then I end up making this room purple. It's more colorful and fun, and I think it ends up being a really cute room. I really like it. I wouldn't necessarily have chosen to live in a room like this when I was a teen, but my twin sister and I did have a half blue bedroom, and then the other half was purple. We painted it sort of down the middle. My side was blue and her side was purple. I painted the whole thing though. She painted our like bathroom because we moved when we were 14 into the house, and our mom let us pick how we wanted to paint the rooms, and that was our decision. And she painted the bathroom bright pink. It was like Pepto-Bismol pink. Not really my decision with that either, but that's what happened. So I do jump around a little bit more than I would like to in this build, just because I'm trying to, one, keep within budget and be able to like furnish with basic things, and then also just like figure out the color scheme, because it was a little bit of a struggle for me. I think the parents' room is really cute. It really does need more, just needs more decorations, and unfortunately with the restriction there, we couldn't do it. I do end up putting like that dark blue shiplap on the wall, and I think it looks pretty cool. It kind of is very coastal, and a lot of stuff in this pack kind of works with like cats and dogs, which we're not able to use in this pack. Although there is like lots of floor space if you have cats and dogs and you want to use this build and your Sims maybe have a pet. Lots of floor space to be able to put like a little food bowl, little dog or cat bed, some toys, just lots of room to grow if you need that. The kitchen is really big. There's lots of counter space. We've got a little bin inside there, the boho looking one that came with high school years, and then of course an outdoor bin. I do think I end up going with those chairs. I really like the main living space being like this blue theme. Like the parents picked that out, and they of course really liked that color when they were decorating. And then, one of the rooms is more blue, and then the other room is very pink and purple. I think it's super cute. Just adding a little bit of decor to the teens' bedroom walls, just to kind of make it look, more realistic for teenagers to want to live in. Just a little desk lamp. I think I might end up going back. I probably should have kept those saucer lights. They are cheaper, but I just go with that blue and purple one for their respective rooms because, maybe they installed them when they were kids and they liked them. I put those like pom-poms on the wall. Maybe this kid's a teenager. This kid's a cheerleader. Something like that. I think it makes sense for it to be on the wall there. Lots of makeup and like other clutter accessories that came with high school years. This room probably looks the most lived in. And I guess this teen's hobby is photography, is really what ended up happening. So I put these two bookshelves on either side of that table, and then add a couple of these consoles, I think, in the middle. I end up putting them, and then just sizing the TV down so that it all fits a lot better. Or just adding another cube. I think I do, yeah, just add another cube. And it fits perfectly. It's kind of like a custom bookshelf. And I think it looks good. I like it. Put a little mirror in this room. Both of the teens end up having a cork board. Probably because the cork board is relatively inexpensive. And then just adding a couple of paintings and things to the walls, trying to change up the lighting a little bit, just to make it look a bit different. Even though that, that saucer light is, I think, the cheapest. So I do put one back just because it was really dark in that room. A plant or two in the kitchen and the living space. Not a lot happening in the kitchen. If we had had money for upper cabinets, it would have really been something, huh? Little plant on the table there, trying to get some lights to put on the bedside tables, and just trying to put decorations somewhere. I do size down like a boom box and put it in the living room, just because it was a little too big to actually put anywhere. And I think we're pretty close to wrapping up. We are dangerously low on money, $7.24 left. And then I'll go into debug and grab the landscaping. That was the longest delay of my life. Does anyone else ever, start talking and then you just have to pause for a really long time because you have no idea where that thought was going? But just some last minute finishing touches to spend all the money that we had and, finish the outside a little bit. And I think it's a very cozy home, lots of room for added touches. And yeah, if you made it to the end of this video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe so you don't miss any new videos, and turn on that notification bell. And thank you so much for bearing with my pause in uploads. I might take another break soon just because I haven't really had one for a while, but yeah, if you want to keep up to date on when videos are posted, you can follow me on Twitter. I will post that link in the description below. And have the best rest of your day, and I will see you in the next video.